What's going on, everybody? This is Tony Mars
And Mary Bly.
with the Meltzer Broadcast. And our special guest today is Nate. Born in West Virginia and now resides in Michigan, Nate has been on a journey of seeking knowledge and understanding the paranormal and ancient aliens for the past several years. His studies include religion, spirituality, and history. Join us as he shares his journey. Welcome to the conversation, Nate.
And stay melted.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
It's good to have you on, Nate.
It's good to be on.
Good.
Excited to be here. Tell you guys a little bit about this crazy life.
Yeah, hey, no pressure, bro. Just, hey, tell us what you got to tell us from the beginning. Let's go.
All right, yeah, man. So, just growing up, normal kid. Not anything to write home about. Like I said, I'm from southern West Virginia, and not too much goes on down there, if you could imagine. We're pretty salt of the earth people. Just day by day, living off the land. Life's old there, like that song.
Yeah.
But anyways, so just going through life. My mom, she actually lived in the Panhandle of Virginia, and I would go and visit her parents. Divorced, things like that. Go and visit her regularly. And one evening, I was at my mom's house, and her neighbor, actually, we called her the crazy cat lady. Like, this lady just had, this lady
man.
just had all these cats, and she would listen to these headphones.
Yeah.
I guess on a CD player back then, because I'm 32, so
my
this got to be
God.
20 years ago.
You sure that wasn't me, the crazy cat lady?
How many
Freaking,
did you have?
yeah, freaking, what was it like before that? The VHS?
Yeah, no, 4 cats right now, but we rescued them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so just kind of setting the scene here. It was nighttime. It was cold out, and she lived on a hill, but there was a valley. So there's a hill on the other side, a ridge, and I don't personally hear. My mother hears the lady just going crazy, screaming outside. And my mom walks out there, and I think I'm watching TV at this point or something like that. All the commotion happens, and she walks outside and starts screaming. And my mom's boyfriend was there as well. He goes outside, and I follow suit. And I come outside to all of them staring up in the air. The crazy cat lady, I remember this specifically saying, "It's the creator. It's the creator."
Oh, man.
My mom's face looked like she had just seen what I'm about to describe to you.
Yeah.
But if you could just imagine shock and awe. And I look over, and there's just this orange glowing orb, almost on fire, moving horizontally, not necessarily like it would be flying. It was almost like it was moving horizontal lines. And it was close enough that it was on top of the ridge. And if I had to guesstimate how many feet it was off the ground, maybe 100 feet, maybe 300 feet away from us. But this big, giant orange globe, and it almost looked like there was a point of fire that was creating all of the fire all around it. And I say fire, but it was just abnormal. It moves in those directions and just takes off. And like I said, the whole time this lady just screamed, and my mom, she says, "Fuck this! I'm going in." She goes inside. We all just run inside after that. But I watched it, and it almost simultaneously just disappeared.
What?
So what did you think it was?
I don't know.
What do you think
tell
now?
me. It's like it was paranormal.
So like you said, it shot up, like it just like shot up into the sky, They're like
So it was almost like I blinked and like I said, like it wasn't like something that just shot out. It was almost like it blipped out of existence.
did it make a noise or anything like that?
No, no noise, completely silent.
Man, the suspicion of the UFOs. Man, yeah. So I work at the airport, and you know, I work overnight, so I'm always seeing like, you know, it's a dark sky, and I'm always seeing. For the past 3 weeks, I saw three shooting stars, like a green color, and I'm just thinking like, man, when am I gonna see a UFO? Something amazing that just like irks my brain, and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell is that? But man, bro, it looks or it sounds like you saw something amazing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and like I said, I wasn't terrified or anything like that. But the crazy cat lady, I guess, thought it was the creator. So in another time, I saw the same type of orb, but it was further off in the distance,
yeah.
and I was driving. Um, Same type of orb, same color. I recognized it. I tried to keep eyes on it, but almost the same situation. It blipped out of existence as I'm trying to track it while I'm driving. You know, and yeah, that was wild too. But it was more just seeing the same thing off into the distance. And,
Okay, so I'm you right now. You're driving. Where are you at in the U.S. and where are you driving? Like, what
all
specifically
right,
do you see?
so specifically, I was driving, and nobody's going to know where these places are, but it was in between Shady Spring, West Virginia, and Beaver, West Virginia.
Okay.
Just small towns. Kind of West Virginia's kind of you follow the roads until you get to a small town. There'll be Dollar General, Kroger, and maybe some fast food restaurants.
So is it more like open fields out there?
No, mountainous.
Mountainous.
Yeah, yeah. So keep in mind, we're from the south, so it's all plains. So whenever we're thinking about the north, we're thinking like big mountains, like freaking Colorado, all that stuff. So we don't know. So you have to enlighten us on the scenery.
Yeah, so like I said, West Virginia is made up of. It's called the Mountain State, but there's not an actual mountain there. It's compiled of ridges.
What?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, and old rivers kind of shape the landscape. But West Virginia, it's just beautiful. I mean, you can look over. You go to an overlook and you see the river. 1,000 foot down and the bald eagle flying overhead.
Merg.
Yeah, almost heaven.
When you saw that second one, how far, like how long had it been since you saw the first one?
So I was driving at this time, so it had to have been maybe 4 years.
4 years.
I remember specifically the car I was driving. It was my first car I ever got. It was a Mitsubishi Galant.
Oh man, that was my first car out the army.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a cool ride, dude.
Yeah, maroon, and it drove so smooth.
Yeah, mine did too, but me and my stepbrother, we blew that sucker up, taking it down uh, some of the roads in West Virginia.
Yeah, yeah, I did too.
You said you was in the military?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the service.
No, no, no problem, bro. And shout out to everybody in First Cavalry, by the way. Fort Hood, Killeen, Texas.
So I actually joined the military and went Cav. Ended
No
up getting
way.
kicked out in boot.
What MOS?
19 Delta.
19 Delta, Cavalry Scout.
Yeah.
No way, Scouts out.
Yeah, but
Hell yeah.
I got kicked out. I got kicked out in boot.
Hey,
My brother was stationed where I was training at, and we got honor platoon. Won all of our contest, I guess.
Yeah.
We got honor platoon. They gave us a brigade pass. My brother was stationed where I was training at,
Okay.
and ended up getting into some mischief, man. And
Hey,
you
hey,
know, shot myself in the foot before I got started.
hey. Trust me, it happens to the best of us. I've seen a lot of them, good people. It just, it happens. It is what it is.
Hey, life's a journey, brother. If it was meant for me, I'd be there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's push along. So aside from
All right.
your UFO sightings, so let's get into the paranormal and
Okay.
yeah, push forward with your story.
All right. So we, I went ghost hunting here and there. You know, after that, kind of piqued my interest seeing those type of things. You know, and went ghost hunting to no avail, really. So really, I didn't think too much of it. Just going on through life. There was a one night specifically, had to have been right after I seen that the second UFO that I was speaking about. Had to have been the second. Not too long after that. I'm probably 16, 17 at the time.
Okay.
And a lot of times, me and my stepbrother, we actually lived together. We got kicked out of the house when we were 16. And so we were kind of living together, and we would go to his dad's house to hang out, get food, stuff like that. So his dad was married to a woman, had a couple of kids, and my stepbrother had three brothers. So there was a house full of us, and his dad had left on work down south somewhere this night. So it's me, my stepbrother, his three brothers, and Melanie, his wife's two daughters. So we're just hanging out, watching TV, and one of my stepbrother's brothers came in and said, "We see this little girl in the closet rocking back and forth, like, and we're scared." And dude, we're just like, "Go to bed, you guys." Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So say, "Go to bed," and they come back in there, noticeably scared. So me and Justin, being macho guys, like, "Hey, we'll come in there, tell you, make sure there's nothing going on like that. That stuff's not real." And oh, man, so we go in, and there's bunk beds in there. So we're all kind of spread out on the bunk beds, and I'm saying, if anything's here, knock once for no, two for yes. I remember saying that, two or three times. No, probably three or four times. And, I was just staring in the closet. I seem to think that I see an apparition in there, but I chalk it up to it's my mind playing tricks on me. I'm, their story. It's just my mind kind of playing into that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I keep saying knock, 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 once for yes, or once for no, two for yes. All of a sudden, you just start hearing this like banging on the wall, like boom, 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 like over and over and over and over and over. And I look and I said, "Who did that?" And I was like, "You guys quit messing around." And everybody's like, "Swear, it's not me. It's not me. It wasn't me." And I look, and I noticeably see a little girl with, ghostly apparition shoot across the floor, like towards the bunk bed, under the bunk bed, and I'm on the bottom bunk. I feel something grab my big toe and the toe next to it and pull,
What?
yeah, and pull on it. And I jump up instantly. I run out the door, and I go straight to the front door, and I'm screaming the whole time. fuck this. But I said, get me out of here, Justin. And Justin had drove there. I said, Justin, let's go. Like, I gotta go. I'm frantic at this point.
Yeah.
And they all come running out, like, what's going on? And I just start, at that point, I'm terrified. And there's no, I'm 6'2", 220 pounds. I poured concrete my whole life.
Oh, damn.
Dude, I felt that. I saw that. I felt that. I ran straight to the door to get the hell out of Dodge, man. So that happens. And Justin kind of calms me down. He's like, hey, everybody else is here. It's an S10. It's a two-seater. It's like, we can't fit the whole family in this thing. We're going to have to ride it out. Oh, sorry. This is back in the flip phone days. This is actually a crucial part to the story.
Yeah, okay.
So as the kids were coming in the living room, my brother was on the phone with his girlfriend. And this is when you couldn't, like, receive photos on the flip phones while you're speaking to somebody. And he gets this text message that says die 7 times.
What?
With 3 exclamation points after it. And it says die 7 times, and there were 7 people in the house. Like, I remember specifically counting how many people was in the house. And Justin's on the phone with this girl, and he's like, why did you just send me that? Because it came from her number. It came from the number that he was talking to her on. And it said die 7 times, 3 exclamation points after. He showed me that. I said, what the fuck? And he's like, why'd you send that to me? And she swore up and down she didn't send anything. So that was before the fact that I felt something grab my foot.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is what I kind of wrote some notes down, is the night of dread, because everything was dreadful after that. It was crazy. So that happens, and we all make our way back in the living room, and we want to turn the TV on. You watch some TV and pretend like nothing's going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We turn the TV on, and it's nothing but static. The cable's out. And we start flipping through channels to try to find a channel. And then there starts appearing like these apparitions like in the TV. Like silhouettes of people. And like you would like scan, there would be silhouettes of these dark shadows.
Yeah.
Like in the TV. Like in the static. And we all seen it and turned that shit off. So turned off the TV. At this point, we're all terrified. There was some Bibles in the house, and told everybody, I said, let's grab some Bibles and try to read some scripture, because at this point, we're just completely terrified. And so I look out the window towards the truck, and I see an apparition like standing next to the truck. I go to the bedroom in which everything had started, and there was, curtains on the windows.
Yeah.
And you can see this like shadow of a hand kind of waving, essentially, or
like waving at you?
well, not waving like that. I'm saying like almost like casting, spell casting, as you can imagine.
Okay.
Just a hand,
Yeah.
a shadow hand. And I think, maybe it's a tree or something. So there's no limbs or anything like projecting that shadow onto that curtain. And, we all start to try to read the Bible. And at this point, like we're so terrified we can't even read. And one of our brothers have to go to the restroom. He goes to the restroom. He comes out of the restroom, and the planter on the back of the toilet falls off into the floor, breaks the planter, and this is about 3 o'clock in the morning, and this has been going on for a couple hours, probably. The different attacks, or I can't put I don't know what it was, but it wasn't natural. It was terrifying, and so all that happens, right? And about 3 o'clock, everything kind of settles down, and nothing else happens past that point. But that was kind of the night.
Man, that sounds crazy, dude. I mean,
I wonder, did y'all ever like check to see like the history of like the house, and if a family died, or
that's, there is that, which will tie in later into another story.
Okay.
That I'll tell you guys. But
awesome.
So there would be kind of ghostly things happen there, like the printer would cut on, or like something simple, something would get knocked off, and they chalked it up as like a playful child doing things in the house, as in nothing harmful, but just mischievous almost.
Did you get the feeling that she was trying to, I don't mean to cut you off, but that she was trying to was she like trying to hurt y'all that night when y'all were all there at the house and y'all first encountered?
I don't know. So they called the ghost Susie.
Susie.
And
okay.
I don't know why they called the ghost Susie, but they just said, Susie's turn the printer on again, or whatever weird thing happened.
Okay.
So do I think that Susie was trying to hurt us? No, because we're not dead. But it was maybe trying to scare us, perhaps. And it worked.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, I had goosebumps when you were telling me about that, and I don't really get goosebumps when I'm hearing stuff like that.
No, so there, a couple of the people have passed that are in the house, but I do have people that can verify that. Probably 4 or 5 people can verify the same story.
Of Susie the ghost.
Susie, yep. And like I said, further into this, I've kind of connected maybe Susie to what happened.
Well,
I don't know, but it's just my mind, diving into the deep.
Let's go deep. For sure.
Yeah, so like I said, that night happened, and they actually knew some religious church people throughout the family. I don't know who did it, but I'm assuming Justin's stepmother had called the church, because evidently this happened to all of us, and this was a real thing. It wasn't like saw something. No, so all this is actually like taking a toll on our mental health here, and a priest actually comes to the house and anoints the house.
Oh wow!
Okay. And anoints all of us, and says that he went throughout the house. We didn't tell him anything about what had happened, and he went to the closet and he looked up in the closet and said that there was a spirit there, and don't quote me, because I remember specifically how those events. I don't remember everything that he had said, but essentially he said that a spirit had attached itself to an animal, someone, something. He went straight to that closet and anointed that closet. But he said it. I don't know what about the closet it was, or what it was, but like I said, there was actually a priest that came and.
Maybe a portal.
I'll say that again.
Maybe a portal.
yeah, you know, if I had all the answers,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so happy to be sharing the experiences.
It'd be hardcore investigating and trying to get there.
Right. Absolutely. So the the next story that I would put any type of substance to is I'm maybe 23 at this point. There have been a few years that I hadn't encountered too many things to write home about. Normal life, and I moved to Michigan, and I'm actually in Dearborn, Michigan, with my family. Um, have at this point I'm having a little girl, and I have a fiance and two stepkids. So we move into this new house, and there was some personal belongings that were left behind in the house, and essentially there was this little car that caught my eye, and it said George George on the car. It was written in some type of marker, and I went down to the basement and I found a picture of a little boy, and he was it was just a picture of a little boy, and my kids would act up here and there. And I told them that there was a ghost named George George that would get them if they acted bad.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep the kids in line, and
Yep. The old Kukui story.
yeah. So they would start telling me, "Hey, we're seeing stuff. We're scared." I'm like, "George George isn't real. I made that story up to scare you guys. Go to bed."
Yeah.
But they would be scared here and there, and I would hear things that I would chalk up to be maybe some metal outside hitting the side of the house or what have you. They had a black cat started acting strange, to say the least. The black cat would sit in the closet and just stare at us sleeping.
What? That is freaking crazy, dude. I would lose my freaking mind.
Don't say that. I got 4 cats.
I would lose my mind. Yeah, but none of them were black.
So, like I said, that was weird, of course, and just would chalk it up as it's just a weird cat. But so my fiance has our baby, and we're trying to adjust to that. And one night I go to sleep, and as I go to sleep, I wake up, and when I say wake up, it's like I'm inside of a dream, but I consider it more like a vision if I had to put a word on it, because most of my dreams are kind of fragmented. I don't have much, say so of what I'm doing or what's going on, or it's just kind of fragmented going through the motions type.
Right.
But this was different. It was almost like I was completely myself inside of this dream, to the point that I can look at my hands and I know where I'm at, and I want to get out of it.
Yeah.
Because when I wake up, I'm in an aqueduct, and if you can imagine a dark tunnel going down straight ahead, nothing but darkness, and didn't lead to anywhere, just complete abyss. It was almost like the sidewalk ended and you couldn't go that way. And I was standing at the top of a set of stairs, and I turn around because I don't want to go that way, and there's a locked gate behind me. I try to open the gate, because I want to get out. I try to wake up. Normally, I can realize I'm in a dream and just wake myself up. That's not happening. So I shake that gate, and I remember specifically not wanting to go down those stairs. But I had no choice. So I walk down the stairs, and I notice a doorway on the right. So I walk to the doorway, and I look inside of it, and it's a dark room, and it has 3 shelves in the room. Like metal shelves, if you could imagine what you would see in a shop or something.
Yeah.
So I see those, and I'm like, man, this is abnormal for sure. And I'm like, I'm not going in there because it looks scary as shit.
Yeah.
So I go back up the stairs, and I go to the gate and try to open the gate again. Doesn't happen. So I only have one option: go back down the stairs to the door. It wasn't a door on that. It was just an open doorway. I look in there again. There's nothing in there. I try for a third time to leave because at this point it's like super ominous. All right, so I go try to open the gate one more time. Nothing. End up walking back down the stairs, and when I look inside, I see a ram's head with red eyes peeking out from behind those shelves. And I'm kind of mesmerized at this point, like, what the fuck? So it doesn't speak with its mouth. It speaks telepathically.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically it offering me, I can give you wealth, riches, you name it.
What?
I can give you power.
Illuminati.
Yeah. And so, and I looked at it, and it said all those things, and I said, what do you want? And it says her. And I scream at the top of my lungs, no! It's like, I remember, and when that happened, I came back into my bed in a sweat, crying, frantic, like tripping out. I wake my wife up and say, tell her, and at this point she's half awake, and she's like, you just had a bad dream. It's like, no, absolutely not.
It sounds like an out-of-body experience or astral projection. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it wasn't normal.
Right.
Like I said, a good night's rest with a dream. You wake up, you go on about your day. No, obviously this is something that I've never forgotten and never will.
You're right. So I've astral projected too, and been to some places, and there's a good friend of mine who has done like extensive research on it and stuff, and pretty much said, warned me to not do it again because I can go to some dark places and possibly not make it out of there and then die here on the earth. So I haven't done that since, but that's scary though to.
Yeah, kind of like the movie Insidious, where they actually project and it's the empty vessel.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Don't know what it is, but like I said, not normal.
And he wanted her, meaning your fiance?
I don't know what he meant.
That's crazy.
I assumed my baby.
Oh, your baby.
That's just
Yeah.
because I just had, and I don't know if this is like deepest, darkest fears or, but I assumed something like that, and.
No, trust me, I understand. I'm a father, and I have a daughter, and man, I would be freaking tripping balls if something similar, even close, similar to that. I'd be freaking losing my mind, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when something happens like that to you, what do you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you going to call?
Yeah, freaking
Right.
Ghostbusters, with your freaking with a freaking proton pack.
Give me the Ghostbusters over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that stigma, like who do you really call and tell this to, because people
Well,
that
yeah, they're going
don't,
to think that you're insane.
Right.
They're going to say, they're going to assume all these things. But trust me, I've got nothing to gain by by telling these stories. It's just
Exactly.
it's my experiences, and
Right.
nobody can take that away from me,
Yeah,
regardless whether they believe you or not.
agreed.
Like I said, I'm not somebody who writes. I'm not somebody particularly interesting. I go to work, take care of my kids,
Yeah,
do the best I can.
the daily norm. So yesterday you spoke with my co-host, Mary Bly, and we're understanding that you're on a spiritual journey as am I. So tell us about your awakening.
Okay, all right. So, from my understanding, you've done some Egyptology research and things like that.
Yes, sir.
I also have. I found the Emerald Tablets interesting. The Hermetica extremely interesting. The Kabbalion.
Yeah.
I was intrigued by the world and the history of the world, and Egypt always caught my eye just because of, you look at the hieroglyphics, and you can, the pyramids, and there's mystery there, right?
Yeah, it freaking blows my mind. It blows my mind every time that I see it. Because I mean, I could just see the pyramid. And I'm just looking at it, and all the mysteries just going through my mind, and I have like a million questions. How was it built? Who built it? Because I know supposedly there's this one dude that built them, but then there's other archaeologists and researchers that predate him, and then like with the water erosion and the weather erosion, it gets crazy.
Right. So that kind of put me on a journey of, I want to research history all the way until I can't research history anymore.
Yeah.
And you see Egypt, the great civilization. I start to think, what was the downfall of these things? And like I said, the more that I dove into Egyptology, the more that the school of mystery kind of popped up, And the more that you dive down that rabbit hole, the more that you kind of learn about the universe.
Yeah, for sure.
And in doing that, you start thinking of the creator of the universe.
Yeah.
And, and that's what I was searching for. I was like, what's the purpose of all this? What's going on here? This reality.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've researched ancient Babylon, ancient Sumeria, Egypt.
Yeah, the Sumerian.
Greece.
Yep.
Or Greeks. The great civilizations, and
Yeah, for sure, definitely. My favorite one is the Sumerians. The history of the Sumerians, and then they have of course, the carvings of like the Sumerian king's list. Predating, the Egyptians whenever it was the land of Kim, and then they started talking about like these god beings, like Enki and Enlil and Thoth, but to the Sumerians, he was known as Ningshita and all that stuff, and it just blows my mind because to me the most important thing for me is the pursuit of knowledge, and to me that's something that you can't put a dollar on. You can't just stick it in your pocket and try to cash it in. To me it's the most important thing, and it's my passion, and it seems like it's your passion also.
Yeah, it truly is. And like I said, I spend most of my time, whether I'm researching history or, like I said, these civilizations. I get into Stoicism and try to
Yeah.
listen to Aristotle and
Yep.
Plato and Marcus Aurelius and all the Alexander the Great, and try to learn these lessons from these great men of history.
Yeah, definitely. So me, as a Russell Christian, one of the beginning teachings that they show us, I could only share so many things, but one of the main things is first we have to learn Stoicism, and that's one of the teachings that we had to learn. So I'm listening to videos, about it, and you know, it's it's a way of thinking, and you know, it, it goes it goes so much further into if everybody could just like that, not with Rosicrucianism, but just to have that open mind and to think about all these things, man, we could just push forward and maybe once again go into the golden age.
So essentially that's the goal, isn't it? For
No, oh, for
everyone.
sure, for sure.
In my opinion, we all want peace and love and harmony and knowledge and great cities,
Yep.
abundant cities, living harmoniously. A lot of people call it the fifth dimension. Some
Yep.
people call it heaven. Some people
That's right.
call it but essentially what it is the promised land. And I believe that it's possible through the pursuit of knowledge, God willing. And like I said, when I say God, some people's God is what they would want to call their God or whatever. I just choose to call the Creator
Yep.
the
The universal intelligence, the universal knowledge, the all.
the all, yeah, the source.
Yeah, the source for sure.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of names that people choose to dance around, but
Yep.
I just choose to say God because that's what He is.
Yep. Man, hey, this is such a great conversation, dude, and I really appreciate you coming on to the episode and to the show. It means a lot.
No, you have more to share though, right? This is interesting. I'm
Yeah, I
learning
got
from you
more. I
guys
got
on this
more.
part. Yeah, like I'm learning from you.
Yeah, yeah, well, come on, let's keep it going.
No, and it's great to be on. It's great to be able to have an avenue to just kind of talk about it, talk about the experiences that have shaped who I am, the character in which I am. I'm grateful for them, even though some of them have been downright terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Some of the experiences have really opened my eyes to my own flaws more. The more that I dove into the mystery and searching the worlds, the more I really discovered about myself
yeah.
and
Self awareness.
in some of the internal flaws that I have.
Yeah, for
And so
sure.
it's been a great journey, and I hope that it keeps going, and we can all enter that golden age in which we all dream of.
Yeah, I mean, that should be the ultimate goal. Like all this stuff about the Taylor Swifties and Kansas City Chiefs and all that stuff.
Listen. That's all temporal. That's all temporal distractions.
Exactly.
What really truly matters in the world's love and
Yep.
spreading it and our experiences, and really focusing on our kids to make them, um, you know, not have all the emotional trauma and baggage, and if we could just make a better world in one generation, you know,
Yeah,
it could change the world literally in one generation.
yeah. Because I mean, the kids are definitely our future, and people are like, we're kids. Our kids have to, fix, the trauma for us, and it's like, nah, like let's fix our trauma, and then our kids could grow up with no trauma, and then
Exactly.
yeah,
Because
let's guide them in
kids
the right
aren't born into
direction.
this world with trauma.
Exactly.
They're born with love, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
And and I had a speaker at work, and he really put it into a great analogy. As we go through life, it's like we have this backpack on our back, and a trauma happens here, and essentially that trauma is a brick, and you put that into your backpack, and you keep going because it's life, right? And you go through, and then you hit another trauma, whatever it is, and emotional, physical, mental, just any type of trauma, and you put it into your backpack, and you keep going, and then eventually you have a backpack full of trauma,
Right.
and you're trying to, as a hurt person, continue in life with this backpack that's just emotionally weighing you down, taken from you, and people look at you and say there's something wrong with you, but what you're doing is you're carrying around that emotional trauma,
Yep, for sure.
and you just got to be able to let it go and put it down. That's essentially what he said. Don't believe the lies that you tell yourself.
Yeah. I mean, exactly what they say. Whatever you speak, it's like a spell. You say it, even in
It's
your
called
mind.
spelling, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So you put that onto the universe, and then kind of like the law of attraction, what you put out is what you're gonna get in. You think negative, you speak negative, you're gonna get negative.
Right. And where people are so unaware of that is really where the sadness and suffering comes in. Is you're unaware that the hatred that you're carrying around and the negativity, and when I say you, I'm speaking me,
Yeah, for sure.
us.
Yep.
If anybody can relate to that, I'm not trying to pinpoint anything or say
Nah, brother,
anything
just speak, just speak.
yeah. And the more I went through life and my negative reactions, it's almost like I'm foolish to what I'm doing
Yeah,
until I get to a point and I look back and I say, what have I done?
yeah. Nah,
and then you're in this pit, and then you're down deep,
yeah.
diving deep.
No, but that's the important thing, like self awareness, because there'll be times, my wife will tell me something, and I respond to her, and I go sit down on the couch, and I reflect on the way I responded, and I catch myself, and I'm like, you know what, I think about her feelings, and you know what, I don't respond the way I should have to think about her, and
Because
I catch myself.
sorry, not to cut you off.
Nah, go
Well,
ahead,
I
go
believe
ahead.
that is we're just having a reaction versus we're not thinking about what we're doing. And of
Exactly.
course, it's like a trigger, right?
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
I've had. I don't want to talk about what's happened recently, but I had an outburst. Somebody called me a name, and I just had an outburst that was outrageous.
Yeah.
But it was due to an emotional trigger. And I acted completely out of character, instant regret, instant, I'm, sorry only does so much because, people will say, well, actions are, speak louder than words.
Yeah.
But then you do the same crap that you try to stay away from as a response, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, I mean, like you could go the whole day, positive things, positive things, positive things, and your whole mindset is positive, but that one negative thing or negative response from somebody or somebody comes with negative attitude, that will be in your head all freaking day, repeating and repeating and repeating, and
Oh, yeah.
it just destroys your mindset
It does, and it can do it so fast. It's almost like
so
Rome
fast.
wasn't built in a day, but
Yeah.
but it fell in one, right?
Yep.
It's like oh man, I tried to really to do better this time.
Yep, for sure.
And you can, with me personally, I can personally say some of the coping mechanisms that I had throughout the years.
Yeah.
Drug abuse, just alcoholism.
Yeah. Oh,
You
trust
know,
me. Same here, brother. Same here. The same fight, the same struggle.
yeah, and it's like I'm trying to numb this pain that I've caused other people almost. It's like I'm ashamed of, the pain I caused other people. Not so much that I have to endure the suffering of that. It's I'm more sorry for that I've caused hurt to other people.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the good thing is that, part of the journey is acknowledging those things now, because I know, like, for me, back then, before my journey, it was a repeat cycle that I was in, right, with all the negativity and everything. But once you start going through the journey and you start learning and figuring out different way of responding, and then you acknowledge that, and then you correct it, and that's why we feel like crap when we do that behavior, when we respond a certain way, we feel like crap, because we now recognize, because of our journey, we now recognize that that's not the correct response. But I really commend you. I mean, it's great when everybody can go through that journey and start coming to a way of thinking that's, positive. I mean, we're human, right? We're going to continue to make mistakes, but we acknowledge them, and then we try to fix them and correct ourselves and try to move forward. I mean, I try not to beat myself up about it,
Well, it's not healthy. I mean,
Right.
continuing to mull it over is just not healthy. To don't get me wrong, don't forget, but kind of forget about that crap.
Right.
And new day, new me, and the day's probably going to punch you in the mouth, and everything that you thought you were going to be might not happen. But I think through continuous thought processes, experiences, the journey, it's almost like your failures being planted like a seed, right?
Right.
And we just have to grow. So
That's a great analogy. I didn't think about it that way, but that's perfect. I did have some questions though. Have you, going back to some of the stories that you were saying earlier, have you seen Susie again since that last time, or no?
So I kind of don't want to spoil that part.
Oh, okay. No, go on. Finish telling us. Hey,
For the next show.
no. Do we have to wait for the?
I really don't want to spoil Susie, because you guys will see why. I don't want to give too much away on Susie.
Okay.
But I believe that you guys are going to really enjoy that part.
Oh yeah, trust me.
So-
we're looking forward to it, and hopefully everybody else is looking forward to it.
Yes.
Just
yes.
so everybody knows, he is going to be a recurring guest on this show.
Yeah, you're.
I hope so.
Well, we're
like I said, maybe,
well, yeah, because if you're not going to tell us about Susie now, you definitely have to come back and tell us about
Yeah,
Susie.
you are officially connected.
Susie's the grand finale. I can't give Susie away yet.
No problem. No
Okay.
problem.
Maybe we'll leave that as a cliffhanger.
Oh,
Okay.
that hurts my soul right now. But okay, well then, what can you the UFOs, that you haven't seen those anymore?
No, so that was kind of my thing about, your show, paranormal and UFO sightings. I don't have too much to maul on when it comes to UFOs in particular.
Well, just those two alone, I think, is because, again, like Tony Mars was saying earlier, he hasn't even seen one yet, and I haven't even seen that. So you're doing a lot better than we are. I mean, I certainly don't think we're the only ones here. I never believed that. I've always believed that there are other beings out there.
UFOs or spaceships in my dream.
But you
Well-
actually saw them when you were not in your dreams and you were
Well-
awake.
Little NASA rockets.
Well, aside from astral projection, I've had in my dreams to where it's kind of like just like you said, you're asleep, but kind of like you're awake. Like you can control all your functions. And the main one I've had is I'm like standing on top of a mountain, and this big UFO just like shows up, and then lights up and shoots up in the sky. But I remember like just thinking to myself, because I floated out the window and I can move my arms and my legs, and I'm like, oh damn, I can move, and then all that happened. So
Well, I had a dream, and I know that it was just a dream because I have a UFO, a spaceship. So I know mine was just a dream. Like I know the difference because I've been astral projecting since I was young. Of course, I didn't know what that was at the time until later on when I realized I can actually do it. So mine was a dream. I haven't been fortunate enough to see a real one. So I was just curious if you'd seen any more, but sounded like it was the same one to me, unless you felt otherwise.
Like I said, it was the exact same shape, same colors, orangish red, more of an orange, but like a fire.
yeah. Did you have like
Perfect.
any missing time or anything like that?
What is it?
Did you have like any missing time or anything like that that you can recount?
No, absolutely not. Only missing time I've ever had was when I drank too much.
Hell yeah.
Completely sober. I was 12 when I seen the first one, 16 the second one.
You were drinking at 12? Come on.
Hey, I am from West Virginia, so
Oh man.
no,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't until later in life.
No, that's great. Man, well,
Anything else you
So-
would like to share? No, let him continue.
Yeah, so I've got some more stuff. This one is was a DMT trip. What do you guys think about that?
come on with it.
Welcome to the conversation.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
So you guys are familiar with DMT, the effects, and where it comes from, those things?
I mean, I've been known to eat pizza with mushrooms.
All right, so DMT is actually considered the spirit molecule.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the chemical your brain releases when you pass away. Essentially.
Yeah.
All right. So back in my younger days, I haven't always been a saint. But I had some friends, whatever. I'd gotten a hold of some DMT, but the freaking psychedelic
Yeah.
drug.
The sweet
Anyways,
Java.
it was so it was pretty interesting to experience. Anyways, that was in the days that it was almost like my consciousness was not there. I didn't think about anything other than surviving at this point. Falling into the wrong crowd at this point. At 16 years old, got kicked out of the house, and it's a cruel world.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
anybody who that would lend their hand out or be a friend to would just try to conform into that crowd, safety in numbers or what have you. But honestly, good friends. So I get this DMT, and I'm going through a tough time. I just broken up with a girlfriend I was staying with. I was laying on a couch, sleeping on a couch, struggling just to get through the day. And so, let's go to somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I smoked this DMT, and when I hit this DMT, reality starts to slow down. And when I say reality, I count it as my breaths. because it's the last
Yeah.
thing I remember is I'm taking this inhale, and the inhale felt like forever, maybe 10-second inhale, and then reality kind of strips itself away with the exhale, and when I exhale, my I just lose complete consciousness, and I essentially beam through this portal, and well, I call it a portal because it was just colorful lights, just instantly in a different place,
Well,
in what I would consider the cosmos.
yeah.
You know, the direction was up. That's all I remember. And now I don't have a physical body, but I'm experiencing. And the first thing that I experienced that I remember seeing is this wave of blue energy as an ocean. So I'm going to use the word celestial
Go for it. Go for
because
it.
I like that.
because and when I say celestial, it's visible,
Yep.
it's colorful, it's light, but it's not tangible. It's not like you can grab it.
Yeah.
And then I see the blue ocean, and then I look to the right, and there's a red ocean. And when I look to the center, it's this orange beam just shining directly at me. And I see a triangle, like the all-seeing eye
Yeah.
is what I would consider that. And when I seen it, I bowed down instantly because it felt like it could destroy me
Yeah.
instantly. The sheer power that I just experienced it by observing me, I guess. And I just bow down. I don't look back. I don't look up. And when I say bow, I mean, it's almost like I have a sense of direction and I'm experiencing, but I don't have a body, or
Yeah.
one that I can see anyway. So I remember looking down and not wanting to stare into it. And the next thing I remember is seeing what I thought were dimensions. And I thought they were dimensions, and there was beams of light stacked on top of each other.
Okay.
Like, it's hard to explain the experience, but it was almost like each dimension was a different beam of light stacked on top of each other
Yeah.
continuously.
Like color energy, like rippled next to each other, kind of.
It wasn't really rippled. It was almost straight line.
Oh,
it
okay.
Like layers.
it was like a layered
Okay.
layers of paper, I guess, but light.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, something just happened.
Yeah. Now you're good, brother.
Anyways, the next thing that I remember is seeing these geometrical shapes. It was like shaped like a cube in the middle, and kind of had a cubical tail that wrapped around it, and they all fell into place together perfectly, like they were falling. You ever seen like the Matrix, right? How like
Yeah.
ones and the zeros are like falling
Right.
continuously.
Mm-hmm.
It was like those shapes were falling perfectly into place, like that, but they were cubical and geometrical, and each shape was the exact same, but they all fit together perfectly.
Okay.
Anyways, not much to that, but I come back to that's pretty much what I remember from that experience.
You know, when you were describing you said it was like an orange ball and like a triangle.
No orange ball there.
No
It was
orange-
actually just a orange triangle.
Oh, an orange triangle. Okay. It just flashed me back to my dreams and stuff. What I do is I paint I paint, so I paint those, right? And there was one that I did with the orange and then the triangle in the inside of it. So it just kind of reminded me of that. And then and around it, it had like energy.
Yes, yeah. So
That's
when the shape, I didn't take much time to stare at the shape, but I specifically remember it's an orange triangle or pyramid. Extreme energy just hit my being, and I want to get out of here like instantly. not that it felt like it was going to destroy me, but I remember this power could absolutely just annihilate me if it wanted to.
the
I remember
intensity.
that.
Yeah, it reminded me of that because I literally had that, like, drew that out and painted that out and color and then the energy around it with the triangle in the center. So when you were saying that, it kind of gave me goosebumps.
Well, yeah, we're definitely gonna have
All kinds
to
of goosebumps
post a
tonight,
picture
huh?
of that.
That's it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I said, that kind of wraps up that experience. But going forward, each experience makes a little more sense. You know, hindsight's 2020.
Right.
So
Pretty interesting. So you're gonna be are you gonna want to come back on the show? Because we would love to have you back on the show for some more conversation, especially since you're leaving me with a cliffhanger.
Most definitely, bro, for sure. Like you have to come back.
So, like I said, I've written down these experiences in order, and we're somewhere at the 40% mark.
Wow.
So
40%. This is 40%. Come on.
I got some good stuff, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
All
we'd
right.
definitely love
Well,
to hear.
well,
your
well, let's
stories.
definitely let's say that for part 2 of the big Nate Dog.
Oh my God, we talked about that yesterday, right, Nate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nate
there's
Dogg,
another
'cause-
Nate Dogg around, right?
Yeah, my grandson, we call him Nate Dog.
Well, officially, everybody, this is from the Belted Broadcast. This is officially the big Nate Dog.
Well, welcome to
See
the
you guys
show.
next time.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us, and we'll definitely lock down another time when you can come on and fit. Yeah, you got to give us more than 40%, so we definitely have to have you up on the show again.
We're
So
gonna,
wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna need at least 65 next time, and then we'll progress towards the 100%.
Man,
The
this is
finale, Susie.
yes,
Yeah,
Susie.
Susie.
That would be the
Yeah, we need
finale.
no-
You guys have
we need to know
figure
about
out
Susie.
Who Susie is, because I just did like last week, and that's where we are. Like when it comes to my experiences, when it comes to supernatural and spiritual things. But yeah,
So like is this gonna freak me out? Cause you know like like ghosts that are like kids and stuff that like really freaks me out. Because I feel like it's the evil part of whatever spirit using the child's shell.
So, there's a lot of evil and good in this world, and there's been a lot of kids that bad things have happened to. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
and there's angry spirits about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I believe that.
Absolutely, and it's just one of those things that starts off bad, but we'll have to see where it goes.
All right, Susie finale.
for sure.
Stay tuned, everyone.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Nate, for
Yes,
coming
Nate.
on the show. And everybody, don't forget to check us out, the Melted Broadcast. Thank you, Nate. And don't forget, stay melted.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, peace and love.
Peace and love, brother.
See ya.